broadcast number 00.
Okay, this is Uncle Bert Lamb saying hello from Beastburg. We're broadcasting from planet Darkstar today to your planet Earth. We want to thank you for sending Earth songs to us in musical notation format and for making them show up as screensavers on our idle computers. This Darkstar Journal show is a sort of return gift from our little group. On Darkstar, it is 32:15. We're up to the 8th month, August, and the 4th day. And it's a Friday. This morning, my granddaughter, Ellie Ram, joined her mother, Acrylic, and me on our walk over to the archive as Ellie's robot, Arnette, rolled along the pavement beside us. The chair of the JACKSTER board, Mrs. Persian, had asked to meet Arnette. We all played cards while waiting for Baby Lambkin to show up. Baby is setting up Ellie to take over from her here until September. The lift door clattered open in the hall. Arnette wheeled herself out of my Studio 9 to see who'd come, and she shouted, "Auntie Rayon, what are you doing here?" "I'm talking to Baby about the voice recordings we're starting up soon," said Rayon. Arnette sped over to Rayon and hugged her leg. We gathered about, and after giving Rayon a kiss, I left them to it. I hadn't been working on cartoons up in my lovely cupola for more than half an hour when Acrylic texted me that Phil KOALA, Einstat Chimp's PA, wanted to see me. Mornings are sacrosanct here for my cartoon work, but a visit from Phil was a new thing. When I got downstairs, he was outside my door. "Welcome to Studio 9. Take a seat," I said, and then I sat myself down silently and folded my hands. Phil sat down in the other naugahyde chair in front of the window, looking nervous. Coughing twice, Phil said, "I'm afraid Einstat was not being completely honest when he talked to you here at the archive the other day, and he feels badly about it. He said to me that your friendship is very important to him." Phil said this seriously, as if his boss Einstat could really give a damn about his friendship with me. Until yesterday, we had hardly exchanged 3 words in the last 9 years. "The truth is," Phil went on, "his secondment of Baby Lambkin is not just about replacing Einstat's voice on our JACKSTER plant computer on FirsTop. With my help, he's produced a prototype for a new digital voice assistant to be built in the shape of a lighthouse, which both of us want JACKSTER to manufacture. Baby can provide the voice the way she did the voice for Jackrabbit's SARA, the talking hologram avatar on Jack's old computer." "I've met SARA," I said. "She's glitchy, but floats around nicely, and Baby's voice works wonderfully." "Well, yes," said Phil. "She was glitchy at first, but this one could be a big hit." This sounded ambitious. The JACKSTER company started out with just a JACKSTER pedal car, but now lots of fancy things are in the pipeline. I asked him, "What happened to your full specs thingy with a computer put inside dark glasses? Isn't that coming out next year?" "That's been the plan, but to tell you the truth, Einstat wants to move right on and make the robot first." "What robot?" "Didn't you know? He's obsessed by his talking robot. That's why he wants to get his hands on your granddaughter's robot, Arnette. A personal voice assistant is more my thing, really." "Well," I said, "good luck to him trying to get a robot by the JACKSTER board. A robot would be big." "Thanks for being honest," said Phil. "So tell me," and I changed the subject, "didn't you start out as Agnes's secretary when she was still just Einstat's secretary before JACKSTER got launched? What were you, Einstat's secretary's secretary?" "Yes, but Agnes Fox was already the real manager because Einstat got himself interested in other things and left her to it. Agnes has gone through a whole series of job titles at JACKSTER, from being Einstat's personal secretary to now chief executive officer, while always doing basically the same job. She's run everything forever." "And did she make you go to her old secretarial school?" "That's also true. I wanted to work here, and she wanted me to work for her. My master's in computer science wasn't good enough, so I spent 2 years at the Ladyfingers Secretarial School, studying hard 4 nights a week. "How's your shorthand?" I asked. "Very fast. But please, Bert, Phil went on. Please keep an open mind. The world needs a digital personal assistant which is ethically based and not sneakily trying to control how animals spend their money or micromanaging all their opinions about life and politics. This lighthouse thing could be a gift to the world. We got called down to lunch right then by Acrylic, but I found I was liking Phil much better than I'd have imagined. Acrylic, in the dining room, was dishing out one of her complicated salads. Baby, Ellie, and Rayon had already been served, and Phil and I sat down and joined them. Phil certainly loved his food. While we were eating, I noticed Ellie's robot, Arnette, wasn't with us. "Where's Arnette?" I asked Ellie. "She's been in with Mrs. P and Einstat for ages. Agnes Fox just joined them." As we finished eating, little Arnette rolled out of Mrs. P's office and beelined over to us, putting her paw on my knee. "Uncle Bert," Arnette said, "Mrs. Persian wants a word with everyone right now." In Mrs. P's office, Einstat gave us all a friendly smile and a nod. But no nod came from Agnes Fox. The JACKSTER Company's CEO was standing alone, looking out at the view across the bay, lost in thought. Once we were seated around the room, Mrs. P spoke to us from behind her desk. Einstat wants a special meeting of the JACKSTER board to discuss something he has been working on secretly. It is a robot. He also has made a voice-activated talking assistant that's in the shape of a lighthouse. The board can't meet now because everyone's away, so Bert and I will make any provisional decision. And the rest of you can perhaps be helpful. Mrs. P turned to Ellie. Einstat was just telling Agnes and me how 10 years ago, Ellie, when you were 5, your Arnold brand robot named Arnette was taken away by him for repair. Is that so? Yes, said Ellie. That's quite true. Einstat says, Mrs. P went on, that without your permission, he then took the opportunity to fundamentally alter your Arnette's personality. Is that also true? Yes, it was amazing, said Ellie. She came back smarter and with no stutter. And since that time, Einstat has had no contact with you and Arnette? That's right, said Ellie. Ellie, said Mrs. P, I'd like to ask if you're willing to let Einstat take Arnette away so he can examine her over the next couple of weeks. He says he'll promise this time not to alter her in any way. He just wants to observe how she's changed. This will help him make his proposal to the board at the end of the summer. I glanced over at Agnes Fox, still looking out the window, to see if I could gauge her reaction, but, seemingly intent upon the distant view, she didn't appear to be listening, and Einstat stayed mum. That would be great, said Ellie. I'm sure Arnette would enjoy that. Isn't that right, Arnette? Arnette nodded. Ellie went on. If Einstat wants to alter her in the way of making some more of his improvements, that would really be fine too, and I'm sure Arnette agrees. Absolutely, Arnette piped up. Alter away, Professor Chimp. I know I'm full of improvability. Agnes Fox turned around to cast her piercing eye on Ellie. Are you certain you feel all right about giving Einstat your full permission to mess around with your robot? Arnette has her own personality and has become integrated and socialized around her current level of intelligence. Agnes walked over to the chair where Ellie was sitting and reached up and put her hand on her cheek. Ellie, don't take this decision lightly. Einstat gave her more brains, but she has self-evolved, living within an affectionate, stable family. Are you certain you want to take a chance with this? And also, she'll come back talking like baby lambkin. Yes, I feel quite sure, said Ellie. I trust Einstat, Chimp, and I believe software needs to evolve, just like the rest of us. So that was that. We had no other decision to make.
you.